yourself.
Coming in around 10 on the schedule here at Richmond, Jordan Davis has the Sony Pole Award. It's his first Sony Pole Award in many years. Davis has really struggled to win a pole in the series. He finally has one. And some big news headlines coming in this race weekend. Some drivers in qualifying crashed, and qualifying had to go to the backup. And it's going to have to start at the tail end of the field. Some drivers that have won multiple races this season and are high in the standings. Matthew Rodriguez, Dom Capps, having to start at the tail end of the field, along with some others like Dylan Young that qualified pretty well, but they're going to have to start tail end of the grid. So it's going to be interesting to see how they can work their way up through the field, because it's a short track and it's not a very long race. It's only 150 miles, 200 laps. You're going to have to get after it and try and work your way through the field, and it's a classic short track racing. But some big news headlines coming in this race weekend. Athenian announced that they are selling their race team to Curtis Racing after 2019. Athenian Motorsports will be no more after 2018. And another team that announced a similar situation, Cybertron Motorsports, will not return in 2019. You heard that right. The championship winning team from last year with DJ Curtis, and they are actually top 5 in the point standings, and with Cody Lamas, the Rookie of the Year contender and champion of the Rookie of the Year in 2015. Cody Lamas also in that campaign, top 10 in the points. Both drivers who have started their career with Cybertron Motorsports, well, they're not going to be racing with them after 2018. 2019, that team is shutting down, and Yant Motorsports will be carrying over a bunch of assets from that race team. But that is one of the biggest news headlines, that Curtis and Lamas will be forced to find another team heading into next year. So some news headlines with some race teams for sure. But for this race, it's going to be all about some classic short track racing. Let's get you down to the green flag. Jordan Davis on the pole for a Sony Cup Series race for the first time in many years will lead us down for 200 laps of racing. A bunch of these drivers up towards the front are some classic short track racers. How will they perform here tonight at Richmond? The green flag flies. We're underway. Down in a turn number 3, Jordan Davis gets away from his competition off the final corner. Turner a little sideways in the back. However, they gather it up. Davis leads the first lap. Further in the back of the field, drivers like Dylan Young, Dom Capps, and Matthew Rodriguez doing all they can to work their way up through traffic. They're already inside the top 30, but they had to start dead last on the grid. But they're making their way towards the front. Some of these faster race cars trying to pick their way through traffic. It's kind of hard to do on a short track, though. Some drivers like Rodriguez and Capps that are top 5 in the point standings, needing to get a good finish here to stay in this fight for the championship. We mentioned it in the pre-race show, but we're going to give a little spotlight to these drivers again here. DJ Curtis, defending champion, will be forced to try and find a new ride going into 2019 as the announcement of Cybertron Motorsports closing their race team down at the end of the season. So the defending champion will have to find a new ride. Same with drivers like Sean Harpel, sitting here inside the top 10, had a good run in qualifying for Athenian Motorsports. Athenian Motorsports will be no more after 2018, and Harpel proving his case that he is a driver worth of good talent. However, he is getting shuffled back now, but this team could do something here in this season, and he's showing off right now here at Richmond. Ryan Griffin's another driver that's impressing me, along with Jeffrey Lynn, sitting here in the top 5. Neither driver has really had a very good runs this year. Besides Jeffrey Lynn, he won at Springfield, and the team has really gotten better since that win at Springfield. He's up here in 4th, and actually he's in 5th, but he's actually having good speed, and so is Ryan Griffin, being the leading Martin Motorsports car right now. The leading Toyota driver on the grid inside the top 10. How about this for Kyle Collins? He had a good qualifying run, and he's hanging on for now, but Dejon Weeks, Luke Martin, trying to slide their way to the bottom and get towards the front. Collins is sitting in 7th position, but he's going to drop a few. But it's a good run right now for this Blue Flare Motorsports driver. Slowly but surely, the Martin Motorsports brigade of Matthew Rodriguez and Dom Capps, they're now inside the top 20, picking their way through race cars. Someone's got a problem on the bottom, and that's Jesse Toner, the point leader. This is going to be a big hit in the point standings. I think Turner's got a tire down, and he's got to make an unscheduled pit stop. The point leader gives it up and is on pit road. And a big battle here for the third position. Jeffrey Lynn, Jake Bassinger. Look at Bassinger giving the bumper to Jeffrey Lynn. Lynn sideways into DJ Curtis. Some beating and banging. Some great classic short track racing. Lynn loses the position, however. DJ Curtis on a charge. Up in the third spot. Bassinger going after him now. Some good racing for the third position. Ryan Acosta underneath of Weeks behind him. Some nice short track racing. Bassinger side by side for third. 3 wide back there with Luke Martin, Collins, and Harple. Acosta trying to shut the door on Weeks. Battles all over the speedway right now. Bassinger's going to get third again. But Griffin and Davis have pulled away. Jesse Turner has returned to the racetrack right in front of Jordan Davis, nearly resulting in a crash. That was a bad merge, if I do say so myself, to Jesse Turner. He's going to go 2 laps down now, and this is going to be big to him in the point standings, and he's going to lose a lot of valuable points. Dom Capps continuing to pick his way through race cars. He's all the way up to 12th, looking for 11th on Kyle Collins. This is one of the better cars on the racetrack. Capps, you put him at the tail end of the field, having to go to a backup car. This team fights back and is pushing back towards the front. Did not qualify very well at all and had to go to the rear anyway. Him and Rodriguez both, and they're making a charge towards the front, and Capps is going to be in the top 10 very shortly, only 25 laps in. I really am enjoying this short track racing. Look at this, 3 wide, the Mace cars of Martin and Mace doing battle, and Jenkins getting in the mix of this as well. Good to see the Yamp Motorsports cars really becoming a factor. They haven't been that quick this season. If I do say so myself, they've been fast, but not top 5 fast, but here he is. Jenkins trying to move his way towards the front. Dejon Weeks is holding on to a top 5 spot. How about the Rookie of the Year contenders from last year of Weeks and Griffin having great runs right now? Jesse Turner just got past Davis to get back only 1 of his laps, but Griffin's the only one that can really keep up with Davis at this point. Bassinger, Curtis, and Weeks have been putting on a good battle for the third position. Jenkins, Mace, Acosta, Martin, Lynn, and here is Capps going after the 10th spot. Matthew Rodriguez swinging underneath of his boss of Luke Martin. This is for the 10th position. So both the Martin Motorsports cars that had to go to the rear of the field of Capps and Rodriguez by lap 44, both of them are inside of the top 10 and working their way towards the front. Nick Mace, who has really not made any noise all season, he's working his way into the top 5 now with a pass underneath of Dejon Weeks. Give Mace a top 5 spot, but don't look back now, because here comes Dom Capps. And there he goes. Dom Capps picking off another one as he's moving into the top 5. As for the leaders, Jordan Davis is in a zip code all on his own, left with Ryan Griffin trying to run him down. Griffin, with only 1 win to his name in the series, is going to have to run down one of the best short track racers there is in the series, Jordan Davis. Really good with what he knows to get around on these short tracks. And Davis has led every lap since the start of it and is looking like the car to beat and looking like the one that'll bring Chevy their first win of the season. But a driver who's looking to say no to that is Dom Capps, continuing to march his way towards the front, another position into 4th place. Dejon Weeks going back after Nick Mace. This is for the 6th position. Weeks gets it. Got a battle for the 5th position now. Dejon Weeks, he's been fighting for that 5th spot basically all race, and he's been having a pretty good race car. Yeah, Motorsports hasn't been that quick all year. It's been kind of inconsistent, but this night right here, they've had speed. But this guy definitely has had speed, but he's had it all year. Dom Capps going after one of his title contenders, Jake Bassinger. That's for a position, and he moves up into 3rd spot after starting dead last. I just want to make some quick highlights over about 3 race cars of some drivers that's really struggling right now. Carson Scott, he's battling Jeff James for the 36th position, and he's already a lap down. He's just dropped to 37th, and really a miserable run for the Turner Performance driver, and also for the Martin Motorsports driver. For all the Martin Motorsports cars to be top 3 or top 10, besides Dodd, he's outside the top 30, a lap down, and really struggling with the handling of his race car. and also Cody Lamas with the announcement of Cybertron Motorsports shutting down at the end of the season. You got to wonder if this may be cause for the team slipping here. I'm not entirely sure, but this team's outside the top 20 right now, and they've had speed all season. But here, he's barely hanging on to a top 25 run, fixing to get lapped by Jordan Davis. Matthew Rodriguez has been very quiet ever since he's made it into the top 10, but very slowly been following his teammate Dom Capps towards the front. And Rodriguez underneath of Dejon Weeks, that's for the 5th position. Give Rodriguez a top 5 running spot. Bassinger, Curtis, and Mace have been slipping back just a little bit. Jenkins in 8th now. Curtis down to 9th and Mace down to 10th. Luke Martin even further down to 11th position. However, it is still Dom Capps trying to run down his teammate Ryan Griffin, who's a ways ahead, and Griffin been trying to chase down Davis all race as we close in on halfway. Ryan Griffin is coming down pit road early. He's actually pitting a little bit early here, short pitting. This could benefit Ryan Griffin. This is going to be their first and only pit stop they're going to have to do unless the caution comes out. And of course, they're all going to pit, but Griffin going to short pit here to try and leap ahead of Jordan Davis. The next lap later, Jordan Davis would hand the lead over and come down pit road. Here's the race for the lead. Jordan Davis getting out of pit road. Man, Ryan Griffin, just that one lap extra of pitting early. He is right there. I'm not sure how much that one lap difference will make in the long run, but it brought him to the back bumper of Jordan Davis now. The top bunch really didn't change. Capps is in 3rd. Rodriguez leaped ahead of the 45, and now Rodriguez is in 4th. Acosta has dropped down to 5th position. Bassinger's now in 6th. 7th is Steven Jenkins. 8th, Dejon Weeks. 9th position is the rookie Caleb Hoffman. And 10th is DJ Curtis. But as for the leaders, Jordan Davis is trying to stretch it back out on Ryan Griffin yet again, but lap cars may play a role at the end of this one. Davis has led all but one lap so far. Ryan Acosta stayed out and led one extra lap, so Davis is trying to lead every lap possible. Jesse Turner, the point leader, ever since he blew a tire early in the race, he's been having to play catch-up, but he's done a great job ever since then. He has been tearing through the pack as much as he can. This race has not had a yellow flag at all, similar to what it was at Pocono, and with it being such like an endurance-type race, trying to tear your way through the pack, he's all the way up to 27th, looking to get 26 from Eric Burton. So it's not that bad of a race so far as Jesse Turner continues to pick his way through cars. Unless something happens to Jordan Davis, this is his race. Nobody is stopping Jordan Davis tonight. He is the man to beat. The quickest car, no doubt, and is stretching the gap on Ryan Griffin by a whole lot. Ryan Griffin is way back here now. That's how far back Ryan Griffin is, and Davis is way off into the middle of back straightaway. He's already lapped all the way up to the 14th place race car, which 14th right now is Dylan Young, who did a really good job to rebound after starting at the back of the field. He's 14th, and 13th Luke Martin, Curtis down to 12th, Hoffman in 11th, Mace 10th, Lynn 9th, and so on and so forth of the drivers that have been the main contenders towards the front. But Davis, he's just got to bring it around. I mean, he can just run laps on these guys. This is his race to lose or to win tonight because he has dominated and led every lap but one so far. Dom Capps is running down Ryan Griffin for 2nd place. Griffin has just not been able to improve on his race car over that pit stop. But I almost wonder if they made it worse on that pit stop. Ryan Griffin's pit crew has really struggled with pit stops this season, and it really showed at Pocono and even tonight to really rebound and to improve on the race car because he is going backwards and losing time to Davis, and Dom Capps is taking the spot. However, I want to give a great call to Martin Motorsports and their race team for really doing a heck of a job this season. They've won 6 out of the first 9 races so far. Doesn't look quite like they'll be able to win, but I give them a great valiant effort of trying tonight because they have 3 of their 4 race cars inside the top 4 right now, sitting 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, in a position to make something happen if a caution were to come out or if something happened to Jordan Davis's race car. It's going to be about 50 laps to go, and Davis really putting a whooping on these guys tonight. Just to show how good Jordan Davis has been all race, look at who he's about to pass and lap. Nick Mace is falling 1 lap down from the 10th position. So even though it's a good solid night for Nick Mace yet again to get another top 10 run so far, he's going 1 lap down. Jordan Davis running down Jeffrey Lynn and Dejon Weeks to put more cars a lap down. So it's very interesting right now. But we did have a big battle for the top 5. Jake Bassinger, Steven Jenkins, and Ryan Acosta were really racing hard with each other earlier, but Bassinger has recently just got away. Jenkins trying to run him down. Acosta is as well. But right here, a battle for the 3rd position. Matthew Rodriguez and Caps started at the rear of the field, and it's so impressive to me to see that they started shotgun on the field, and they both have worked their way towards the front and passed everyone but Jordan Davis tonight. So they have done a fantastic job to do what they have done, but it looks as though they're going to fall short to Jordan Davis and Davis in the 5 car. Looking like he's going to put Chevy in victory lane for the first time all year. Side by side for the 4th position, Jake Bassinger moving his way towards the front. Ryan Griffin's crew really did not help him benefit off that pit stop, and it's really hurt him a lot as he has just lost so much time. He's down to 5th position and in danger of losing a top 5 finish here. Late in the going, he had been in the top 5 all race up until now as Steven Jenkins swoops underneath the 11 car and the 1 car as Steven Jenkins into the top 5. Even though Jesse Turner blew a tire early in the race and we have not had a caution all race long, he fell 2 laps down, but even though that all happened, he didn't get a caution to get caught back up. He drove his way back to 15th. Jesse Turner, what a run he's on to get a good enough finish out of the troubles he's had. Top 15 run, he wouldn't lose that much points to Dom Capps this race. Looks as though he's only going to be about 13 points behind him, possibly something like that. So it's a good rebound for Jesse Turner. Battle for the 4th position continues to go on. Steven Jenkins working his way by Jake Bassinger. Bassinger held up by some lap cars. He's going to lose 4th position here. 2 laps to go for Jordan Davis. And we'll put this one to rest and put round 10 away. A lap and a half to go. The biggest battles on the racetrack is for 4th place. Jenkins trying to hang on and keep Bassinger back. And then for 6th position, Ryan Griffin trying to hang on to keep Acosta behind him. But the white flag is out now for Jordan Davis, who's directly behind these guys because he has lapped so many people. If it wasn't for pit stops, Davis would have led every lap. But he's going to do it in dominating fashion. Jordan Davis, Mace Enterprises, and Chevy wins round 10 and dominates Richmond. Jordan Davis' first win of the season, Mace Enterprises' first win all year, and Chevy's first win as a manufacturer all season. Gonna look at this big battle for 4th. Jenkins is gonna hang on for it. Gonna get 4th from Bassinger. And for the 6th position, how about a last lap pass? Ryan Acosta gets it from Ryan Griffin, who had been really good all race, but faded in that last run after pit stops. But Jordan Davis is the man tonight. He led 199 of the 200 laps. The only other lap he didn't lead was during pit stops, when Ryan Acosta stayed out a lap later than he did. So Jordan Davis takes down round 10 and gets Chevy their first win of 2018. Let's get you to our finishing results and standings after round 10.